Welcome to SMR Bitesize. Monday's news stories coming. But before that, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Now, you'd be forgiven for not knowing very much about this, and that's just the way your government wants it. So it's a good job that we're here to tell you what's really going on and why it really matters. The government says it plans to impose limits on university courses or rip-off degrees that have high dropout rates and a low proportion of graduates getting a professional job. Opposition MPs say the measures amount to a cap on aspiration that will restrict choice for young people. The plans were announced by Education Secretary Gillian Keegan. But what's really going on here? Well, on the surface, under the plans, the Office for Students, the OFS, will be asked to limit the number of students universities can recruit on the courses that are deemed to fail to deliver good outcomes for graduates. But what on earth does that really mean? After all, university's a life experience. And as far as I can recall from attending one, there was no requirement for me to immediately immerse myself in a high-paid job to satisfy the whims of my government. My particular degree course was English and Performance Arts, Drama and Music, and it seems to me the path that I chose to follow is not one the Tory government in 2023 would approve of. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, claims that too many young people are being sold a false dream and end up doing a poor quality course at the taxpayer's expense that doesn't offer the prospect of a decent job at the end of it. I'm not quite sure what he means about taxpayers' expense when universities charge extortionate tuition fees funded by loans that the undergraduate themselves will have to pay back during the course of their professional life. Now, the government's yet to specify which courses in particular they're defining as low value, but data released on the 6th of July by the Longitudinal Education Outcomes, LEO, a database connecting education data with employment data, suggested which subjects had the highest and lowest employment rates and salaries in the tax year 2020 to 2021. That said, out of the higher education institutions analysed, first-degree graduates in languages and creative arts and design had the lowest median proportions in sustained employment, further study, or both. Furthermore, this same data suggested that 5 years after graduation in the UK, medicine and dentistry had a median graduate earning of £52,900, whereas performance arts stood at $21,200. Now, despite suggestions from this very data, Education Minister Robert Halfon denied that the government's cap is an attack on arts and humanities courses. So, do you have a degree in the creative arts? Do you consider it to have been a low-value rip-off course? And is the only way you measure the success of that course and its impact on your life a quick glance at your bank balance? Let's scratch beneath the surface. Because what we find when we do is considerably more worrying than that. Take a look at this YouGov poll conducted in December 2019. It shows how the 42,000 adults polled voted in that year's general election based on their academic credentials. And what a telling story it is. You can clearly see those with degree level or higher qualifications were most likely to vote for progressive parties, Labour, the Lib Dems and the Greens, whilst those who receive no education beyond at the very most GCSE level were far more likely to vote Conservative. So, would it be fair to extrapolate from this data that the latest Tory crackdown on low-value or rip-off degree courses is the government's attempt to pander to its less educated base?
I voted out. I think it's good for the country because the country wants to stand on its own 2 feet. We rely on other countries, now we'll have to rely on ourselves.
You wanted to talk about Scotland, because obviously that's...
Yeah, well, Scotland's another thing is, if they want to stay in it, what they'll have to do is, they'll have to join up with EU, go to use their euro, and then we can just put a fence right across and then they get their own passports. I thought Scotland was a part of England, but it's quite obvious they don't want to be, do they? When you get someone high, they don't know what living's like until they've actually tried it. So all these MPs, what say they've had a hard time, they're probably on more money than what I get. Do you see what I mean? And my company's still struggling now right, with many other companies because of Europe. Basically, we need our British companies back and British people working again. That's what I think. That's my opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to the MPs. They've got more power than us. I can't tell them what to do, and whether they listen to what people say is two different things.
It would certainly seem that way, wouldn't it? But do you want to hear something even more concerning than that? Well, take a look at this. That's right, the early warning signs of fascism. As you can see, our current government tick quite a few boxes, don't they? And just look at this. There it is, right there. A disdain for intellectuals and the arts in particular. It looks very much to us here at SMR like they've just ticked another one. But what do you think? Well, you can let us know in the comments. With this year's National Rejoin March set for September the 23rd in London, why not kit yourself out ahead of the big day? You'll find everything you need and more courtesy of our friends at Stay European. All orders over £15 are delivered free, and here's the best bit. As an SMR Bitesize viewer, you'll get 10% off everything you order. Just enter the code at the checkout. And yep, there's a shop link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, visit 16millionrising.co.uk, where you can listen to this week's full radio show for free, support us with a donation, buy us a coffee, or subscribe as an early riser. Back tomorrow.
March!